Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
I clicked on social media. Y'all know, every time my mama say something about me, I never say nothing. Like, I never say nothing. Like, I never say nothing back. I literally never say nothing back to my mama. And as soon as I got on social media, the first thing I seen was a blogger reposted something my mama said. And the first line, I never read it because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt my feelings so bad. It's gonna hurt me so bad if I ever read what my mama got to say, or if I ever listen. Like, I never watch the stuff that she be saying. The stuff that she be saying when she go viral, and the things that she say, I never heard of it, y'all. I never heard it with my own two ears. I always act sure. Or I always be in the middle of a conversation. They be like, yeah, you know your mama said. And I be like, what? She said what? And they be like, yeah, she said it on that live. And I be like, and then she always hurt me. So every time I see my mama talking or going like, and the first line I read was, God will never make sure you do right until you get right by me. Man, that's the most manipulative thing I ever heard, man. That's wrong. Why would you take my mishaps? Why would you take my struggle, the things that I go through as your son, and call it karma? That's not karma. That's not karma. It's not karma. It's not karma. I got caught with some THC. If I get caught with something, I'm not going to jail for no. I'm not going to jail for no hard. I'm not going to jail. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I ain't going nowhere.
Wow, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. You hear Finesse2tymes. I'm not going nowhere. He wants y'all to get that, but it hurt him when his mama spoke out and she tweeted and he got out and he's seen this, man. Pours his heart out to the internet, screaming for help. Guys, this here is Finesse2tymes, man, trying to give y'all guys insight on what he's been through, how he got out after he went and bumped his head down there in East Texas again, and seen his mama's post. And boy, he said it tore him up. And he said, you go to this old lady and let her hear it. She tell him about it, but it just tore him up. OG, you there?
Man, I'm right here. And I'm sitting here listening to this. And I'm listening to this guy. This is the biggest crop that I've seen. And he ain't.
Whoa, biggest crop. What do you mean? He's pouring out his heart.
He's not pouring. The minute up. He's talking about what he hasn't humbled himself. He's trying to make an excuse that his mom, his mishaps. It's not a mishap. You're addicted to drugs, bro. You got busted. He said, what? Possession of dangerous drugs, possession of marijuana over 2 ounces, possession of a foreign substance in controlled tampering fabric or something like that.
Yeah, I seen it.
He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charges under a controlled substance. That's what you went to jail for. And like I said, I try so hard now. It's just that I'm trying to get this word out of my vocabulary because it's affecting our society. It's affecting us as people. This word has become so synonymous, but it's a word that defies ignorance. And this word, I hate to say it, he's sitting in front of this camera on some nigga shit.
Oh, gee, no, don't do that. It ain't. I told you about that word. That word is you amplifying the issue. He's never ignorant. Getting goals accomplished.
I'm just.
That's where he headed. God, dog.
I had to get that through so America could understand the feeling that I'm looking at this young man ruin himself and taking pride in it like he's the victim. He's sitting there with a blunt, smoking that you can see the smoke going through the air as he's talking. He doesn't have enough finesse to put everything aside and sit in front of us and look like he's sobered up.
OG, this takes time. It is a process. He's going to do better. He said it in this dang post, man. I just feel like at some point he has to go through this in order to get to something different. Hopefully, I pray he makes it through. But I'm telling you, I believe that when these boys, and I was just watching Gucci Man. Shout out to Gucci Man. He got a new book out, man. And it's something that, you know, these episodes, man. Finesse is going through an episode right now, man. Basically, as a young man, we go through situations and we learn as we go through them. When you was 25, you was in prison. When, you know, so he going through his situation. He's now going through his episode. So 30 years old, he's going through his episodes. If we can figure out a way to reach him, to say something to him that can change his mind and change his heart. His mama done tried, but most of the time you don't listen to your parents. Your parents is the last person you want to hear when you're going through this stuff. And I know it's that way because I've seen it too many times where your anger is built up because of the way you was raised up and the things you went through. You basically, a lot of times in these situations, you can't find a way to get back over that or reconcile. So a lot of times you're doing things out of rebellion. And I think that's what we see. And I feel like with this rebellion, as he keeps running, as Jonah did when he ran from the boat, at some point, he get to be in the belly of a whale and some fish guts and change his life. But we'll never get to that point if we give up on him. If Jonah don't ever get through in the water and don't ever get put in the big fish, he don't ever go through situation in fish guts that can change him.
That's not it.
I'm not going to debate with you on it. He can change. He can change.
You cannot get in the belly of no whale nowhere. His esophagus won't even fit a man.
It said what it said, OG. It read what it read. Now, as far as the biblical part behind it, I'm going to let you talk. But as far as the biblical aspect behind it, literally, it says what it says. Now, you go ahead and explain how you want to, but the man got to go through something to get to something. That's all I'm saying.
It said all he went through, and then when he came out, he still just went to the wall of Nineveh. And he went to the wall and he sat on the wall. And when he sat on the wall, one of the trees had started withering away.
That's right.
And he started crying. And God asked him, do you care more about the tree than you care about these people? He said, hell yeah, I do. So anyway, so it had nothing to do with the whale. It had to do with his final awakening. And that's what I'm saying. This boy he's still in the belly of the beast. He's, no matter what
I agree with that.
When I was 25, I had to deal with my hurt. I wasn't going to sit and pray. I never got high. I never drank because I was too scared. In prison, I wanted to survive. So I had to stay aware. So until he learns how to attack his own demons and quit putting it on his mother, quit putting it on his girl, and sitting up smoking blunt after blunt, the same thing that got him in ain't going to get him out.
Well, it's reflecting back when he's running and going and trying to figure this stuff out, not to do the will of God. He's bumping his head as he gonna bump his head, and we pray that it don't kill him.
I ain't praying.
I said we pray that it don't kill him. So at the end of the day, when I see Finesse2tymes and I see him going through this stuff, as I've seen different artists go through this stuff, Boosie had his situation of running from Nineveh, getting into a storm. All of these boys, Gucci Man had his storm moments. All of these guys have storm moments, man. I've seen a bunch of people have storm moments, but if they make it through, NBA Youngboy had his storm moment. But if they make it through, 50 Cent had his storm moment. But once they make it through, they on the other side, they become great entrepreneurs and businessmen. But they just got to make it through. You made it through. Hell, you need to help them to make it through, OG. You got to be honest with yourself when you see a guy like this crying out for help on the internet.
I'm being honest. The only way
Crying out for help on the internet, OG.
Only way you can make something is break something, and you gotta
I agree.
break that habit of the things that you do. It ain't what your mama say. It ain't what your girlfriend do. It's what you doing. Talking about you're your downfall.
OG, again, I get it. I agree with you 100%. Right now, he's going through that, and he is his downfall. But I can tell you this much. He's in a position where a lot of people are rooting for him and praying for him. And with these situations where certain people getting out here speaking on him, if he can make it through this, and if is a big if, because some of these kids don't make it, he in his 30s. And I'm going to be honest, when you turn 35 and on up, all you do is go to funerals. So when you start going to all these funerals and seeing all these people getting up out of here, it tends to mess with you as well. So I guarantee you, he's almost at a point where he can switch this thing around. The light switch will click on for it. But he got to figure it out how to stay alive. That's the whole game. You out here, you showing up to stuff late. You just was coming from a situation where you had got into a heated brawl in Florida. Before you left here in Dallas, you was already into a situation jumping on your car and pulling your pants up to your navel. And then you run down there and basically go to the fair. But at the end of the day, you steadily going around here getting into it with folks. You see what I'm saying? Tyler, Texas was a big roadblock. And I'm telling you now, man, you got to figure this out before it's too late. 30-something years old, you're a grown man at this point. You got to figure this out. And OG, how dare you act as if you've never had issues, because you had some issues. And for you to sit back, for you to sit back and act like you ain't had no issues, I rebuke you.
Never my issue.
Yeah.
I have issues.
I don't understand how you could forget where you came from.
I came from shit. I came from a family, a house with I'm the one who went.
You came from San Quentin. That's where you came from.
Yeah. And what made me understand, I was doing some foolishness. I was doing some fool, like you said, until you see death yourself. Until I got stabbed and found out I didn't like prison, did nothing change. When I thought I was doing all the corruption and I was the one, but when it turns around, like you said, see, it's something to go to a funeral, but it was something else when you are the funeral.
Wow. Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. But listen a little bit more of this, OG.
I'm highly blessed and favored by the high power. I'm not going nowhere. Everything that I go through, I'm going through it for a reason. Why? Because I learn from it. Every time I go through something, I learn from it. I can't get no game from these suckers. These suckers don't want to give a nigga the game. These suckers scared for a nigga to be around because they know a nigga hard. They know a nigga ladies, man. They know a nigga get around, nigga sold the game up, nigga run off with the game. These niggas suckers, they really don't want to get around, so I can't get the game, from the rappers, from the industry, from what we supposed to be together. I can't get the game, so I'm having to learn. Boom, I'm bumping my head every time I turn around. I gotta learn something new. We don't know shit. Little you don't know. We learning together. We all learning together. We don't know this shit. We don't know nothing about no credit. We don't know nothing about buying houses. We don't know how to go buy cars. We don't know all this shit, nigga. I ain't had no ID till I was 24, 25, nigga. And you nigga had IDs when y'all was 15, 16, nigga. I ain't never had shit, nigga. You see what I'm saying? I'm going somewhere with all this. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? And fucked up though, man, dude. You know what I'm saying? You judge a nigga like that. And I'm just out here still learning. Like, I had to talk with my little brother, like, and he told me, like, you still can do better. And get what I told you. I'm trying, bro.
Wow. I'm trying, bro. Lil Jew told him, his brother, you still can do better. He said, well, I told him I'm trying, bro. I ain't have an ID talk to. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. These are the things where I feel like he's crying out. And I'm not going to play no more of it, but you can go watch his live. They're everywhere. But I like the fact of what I'm hearing. And I think this guy can turn it around with the right resources around him. He tried to go to the industry folks. They not giving him nothing. And most of the time, and it's sad, they get these higher up echelon artists, rappers, your pillars, your billionaires, they're not going to reach out to a guy like this. They feel like if they help him, it pretty much is going to be a blemish on them, or they don't want to get involved because it ain't their problem, but it is. This is the baby you birthed. People like Gucci Man, people like Jay, people like all these different people, man, all the different ones that was hot, even Bun, all of these different guys, man. Birdman, everybody, it's something about this guy, man, to where I think if we could figure out a way to reach him, get a call to him, I think he could turn it around. But he don't know a lot of stuff, so he out there bumping his head. But he do need to stop with the shenanigans with the drugs. That ain't gonna help nothing. And at the end of the day, I feel like, you can't make excuses. You going through your 3 days of dying, you can't make excuses, bro. You got to switch the switch on and turn this thing around. And that's the case. I'm not saying that the nigga gonna make it out without going to the penitentiary either. Sometimes the penitentiary is a cocoon that saves you. The hedge of protection around you is the prison. So that's the thing that I know that a lot of time people shy back or talk down on, but that thing has changed your life and saved your life if you use it correctly. That's why, OG, when you said earlier, you were like, man, when I was in there, I got stabbed. It was cool when I was doing the stabbing, but when the stabbing happened to me, I was good with stabbing and waiting and watching and all that and not, hitting niggas over the head with the Jack Mac can in the sack when they were letting them bring it into the Texas system. But when I got hit with the Jack Mac can, when I got caught up and I had to fend for my life, when I wasn't letting somebody come up behind me and almost choke the life out of me. Once the gun turns on you, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know what I'm saying? When your family back off and stop talking to you at all. See, mama can't get on the live and do nothing for you once you get in that cocoon. Once you get in that belly of the beast, where they got you in that concrete hell. See, when you was in that concrete hell, mama, whatever mama said didn't really matter because you couldn't hear her no way. So when they get you in there for 3 to 4, 5 years and you know the last stint you did, you can't hear mamas no more trying to give you you got to do it on your own with death all around you. What you think about it, OG? I done went to talking crazy and preaching almost this morning. I'm tripping, man. I'm tripping, man. You got to pull me out. I just don't know. I think he can turn it around, but it's going to take some going through some stuff like he going through, and he going to put that smoke down. That smoke what got him tripping. He thinking he can smoke, but then when you smoke, you start trying other things. And your mind get to where you're not thinking correctly. Now you popping pills, smoking, and riding down the highway, banging music and acting like you a God's gift to this earth. But at the end of the day, they finna lock you up, boy. You better change your mind and turn this thing around. OG, what's the last word you could say to Finesse, or you call him a mess 2 times?
A mess. You got to burn before you learn. And the idea here is no matter all that professing you're doing, you have to be discreet, bro.
Okay.
And if you don't practice some reserve and put distance between you and the public, right now with this high-tech world, you just got arrested and went to jail for possession of controlled substance and possession of marijuana. You just got on a nationwide film yourself doing the same thing. So all the prosecutor have to do when you go back to court is show a video that you just got out in less than 24 hours smoking again.
Damn.
Dummy.
Damn.
So you talking about learn from, you're not learning shit, bro. You sitting doing the same dumb shit over and over again, expecting a different result. That's called insanity.
Wow. Lil Jew trying to tell him, his brother trying to let him know, man, we got to do better. But let me say, from the mouth of babes.
Talking about your mama and your mama this and your mama that. You need to get somewhere, sit down and talk to yourself, not to the social media. You know, one of the biggest things that I've learned, Mike Tyson was going through some stuff, right?
Right.
And in the era after the Holyfield incident, the incident with him and Don King, the incident with him and his wife, he was going, it was one thing after another was bumping, and the media was all on him. It was like eating him up. And Mike did one of the things that was so amazing. He went in hiding for 2 years. You didn't hear nothing from him. Stayed out of and then they Suge, in the other hand, every time something happened to him, he did a mess 2 times. And he became another target and steadily on the media crying, steadily doing this, and look where it ended him. So
28 years.
A mess. If you look at anything, look at Marion Suge Knight from Death Row Records, and he wasn't even on drugs.
Wow.
Keep yourself in front of the media while you hot, especially with negative hot. Bro, you got to sit somewhere and cool off.
Wow. I agree, OG. I agree. Guys, get in the comments. Let us know what you think. OG say you got to sit somewhere and cool off. Hey, listen, man. Finesse2tymes speaks back out to his mama, man. As you know, we've been riding with this situation ever since it started, man. Guys, like, subscribe to the channel, and check out what we said last night. Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.